My name is Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome back to the Mayor's Corner, Episode 3. So we had a really busy week that I'm really looking forward to talking to you about. The biggest thing that's happened this past week was the big blizzard that came through town here on Saturday. And I want to give a huge shout out to our Department of Public Services. They worked around the clock to keep our streets clear, help with residents all over town. And then after the storm, post-storm, they really worked hard the last few days, cleaning up the downtown, clearing the sidewalks, getting our schools ready for Monday. Again, they got a few hours of sleep and really worked really hard getting everything done that needed to be done. So again, a huge shout out to them. Their efforts were really amazing. I also want to thank our police and fire department for keeping everyone safe during the blizzard. Anytime, we live on a coastal community. So every time that we have a major storm, Plum Island is at the top of our thoughts. So I'm happy to report that no significant damage happened on Plum Island this past storm. I really just think we lucked out. I think that, the way the tides hit and the way the winds were blowing, it wasn't as significant as the last storm that we had during Martin Luther King weekend. And so that, really we dodged a bullet there, because every storm from now on is something that we're really going to have to be concerned with. So those concerned about Plum Island and how we can better help them are going to continue, particularly at the state level, working with our state partners. That area around 75th and 73rd Street, we took some precautions before the storm, and those were definitely the right calls. So I'm glad we did that earlier in the week to kind of get the island ready. And if you went on Facebook or the website, you might have seen some of the pictures of Plum Island, like before and after. And it's amazing how much just the sand has moved around in a couple of these past storms. So actually, I think today is the day they're back out on Reservation Terrace area, moving that sand back around, clearing up valve pits and other utility areas that they have to get into to turn utilities back on for houses down there. So they're working on that today. I know they're going to do a great job. I can't wait to see all their efforts. But again, they've been working nonstop these past 5 days for the city of Newburyport. So I really want to thank them. Another big thank you regarding the blizzards, I want to thank you, the residents. I thought we really tried to get as many communications out as possible to residents to get them to prepare for the storm. We had the blue lights on early, 12 o'clock on Friday, so people knew the parking ban was in effect starting at 6 p.m. And I just want you to know, it's how that parking ban works. We need you to get your cars off the street. So we knew the snowing was really going to start after midnight, so really around like 3 o'clock in the morning. So the way we look at getting cars off the street, we want to get that information out there right away. Give you enough time. We don't focus on the downtown because we don't want to affect the businesses downtown on a busy Friday night. So you can still go out, enjoy your night on Friday. But when those blue lights are on, that means when you go home, you got to get your car off the road. And if you're in a living situation that doesn't have off-street parking, you got to make a plan. So that's how we do that, and we're trying to get those communications out there. The police don't go out there and start ticketing cars until closer to midnight. And like I said, they worry about downtown last. And luckily, from what I hear, we only had to tow 15 cars for this storm. And typically that number could be as high as 30, high as 60, and even as high as 100. So I mean, really kudos to the citizens of Newburyport for following the directions, getting your cars off the road, and then staying home, because it allowed us to keep up with the plowing throughout the duration of the storm. Okay, so again, thank you so much. And again, I'm going to work really hard as your mayor to get that information out to you in a timely way, and then continue those updates throughout the storm. Okay, so again, great job. I had my first department head meeting today in City Hall. So again, with all the different departments in town, we have over 19 department heads come together for a meeting. We're going to do these once a month, and it was really a great opportunity to talk about some things that affect many different departments in town around either HR or finances as we get into the budget season. But we also had a really great discussion about one of the real focus points of my administration early on here as I take office, is around communications in general. I'm looking at our website. We're talking about doing a big redesign of our website. One, I want to make it easier for the residents to access and to find information, but I also want that to work in collaboration with our other communications efforts to push out information in an effective way out to the community as well. So we had a really great discussion. I mean, I think all the departments participated in that and had some really great ideas about how we move forward in some of these different issues around the website and how we work on that redesign. So I'm excited, and I think we're going to be able to do that on a fairly quick basis to get that up and running as soon as possible. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you have questions about our websites or concerns or things that you've noticed that you'd like to see in our new website, please reach out to City Hall. You can email me at mayor@cityofnewburyport.com, and I would be happy to hear your thoughts on that as we move forward with a new website and, again, just a new strategy on how we're going to get communications out to the public on a regular basis. You're going to see that too, that's going to be linked to our social media strategy as well. Throughout the storm, I try to do videos and send updates through my own Mayor Facebook page and Instagram, but you're also going to see the city have a more coordinated effort as far as those pieces of information. So that's, again, it's all part of a bigger communication plan. One quick thing about staffing that I want to mention is that we are still looking for a new health director and new IT director for the city. So if you have anybody in mind or this is your field, send in your resume. We'd love to talk to you. The health director position is already posted, and we're starting our initial first screenings on those. And the IT director, I actually don't think is posted yet, but hopefully by the end of this week, we'll get that job description out there for the IT director position here in Newburyport. And just a quick update on my staffing here in the mayor's office. I've mentioned this in the past, but I've had Christine Jackson as my executive assistant. She's just been an amazing addition and is doing really a wonderful job here in the mayor's office. Andrew Levine is on his 5th day here in the mayor's office. He has been phenomenal as my new chief of staff. And just today, I had Kim Turner join my team as the part-time manager of special projects. A lot of you in Newburyport might know Kim. She has been very involved in a lot of things around the city, most recently the chair of the Parks Department for, I believe, the past almost 10 years. So again, she's a great addition. She's going to help on a lot of different areas, especially around projects in the city that we want to help move forward. So my staff right now is complete in the mayor's office. I already had my grant developer, Nancy London, on board. So I feel good. 1 month in, I've got my staff together, and we're going to move forward with a lot of these different initiatives here my first year in office. So another thing I want to mention, this Thursday we have a meeting coming up around the ARPA funds that the city has received. So, and again, for those of you that don't know what the ARPA funds are, that's our American Rescue Plan Act funds that we received, and we got a little over $5 million that we can put towards a lot of different things. The previous administration had formed an ad hoc committee. They met one time, so I'm kind of reconvening this committee, especially since now City Council is in place and they have their new committee assignments. So I'm forming this committee back together to kind of talk about what do we want to do with the rest of that money and try to make some really solid plans around that. So what we'll do is we'll make a list of the areas that we think these funds would be beneficial, and then we'll make recommendations through City Council about how those funds should be spent. So I'm really excited about that because we have a lot of programs and initiatives here in Newburyport that I'd like to see get off the ground. So, and I have some pretty specific ideas around infrastructure in those ARPA funds. So I'm excited to get that information out there as well. Another thing I want to mention that happened this past Monday night at the City Council meeting is that the City Council voted 11-0 for the purchase of 57 Low Street. Now, for those of you following along to city government or following along in the news, you know that this property has been mentioned quite a bit over the past probably almost 2 years. It was last February where this vote came before City Council and it actually was defeated 6-5. Luckily in that time since then, so almost just about a year now, we've been able to kind of take another look at that property, get some more information about the feasibility of having something on that site, looked at the safety of some environmental hazards possibly on that site, and with all that information that we were able to gather, then it was up to the City Council to come together, and like I said, I was happy to work with them on this as well, as we all kind of work together and see, how do we get to 8 votes? Because you need 8 votes to get this property, right? And that's, we got to 6 last time. How do we get to 8? And what it was a compromise had to be made, and they had to collaborate. And it was so nice to see this new council come together so quickly and work on a order and to purchase this piece of land that really checked off a lot of boxes for some of the councilors that were kind of on the fence. So again, we went from a 6-5 vote to an 11-0 vote all told, and a lot of that compromise was done in the Budget and Finance meeting a few weeks ago. So again, it was just a great sign, and it was a great way to start the new year, and I'm really excited to work with this council moving forward on many other initiatives, because I know as I mentioned last week when I went to the State of the Commonwealth, and I've got the quote on my wall here now, Charlie Baker ended his speech by saying, "Collaboration is how difficult things get done." And so that's why I really thought that quote really hit home, particularly regarding 57 Low Street. So now what comes next is, what do we do with it? So we've kind of built some things into that order to get that process going. Our city engineer is going to work on a site plan for that location. And I've said all along, I'd love to see NYS goes there, our Newburyport Youth Services. They're in desperate need of a home. This was the original intent, I think, when we started looking at this property. So now it's just, can we make it work there? And so I'm hoping we can get those answers pretty quickly and then move forward and work with City Council on pushing a really great plan to make a new home in that existing building, and then that retrofit outbuild of what's there. And getting NYS the permanent home that it needs. I mean, NYS does so much for the kids of Newburyport, and I love the proximity to the schools. So again, it's outside of the school, so it's a real safe place for kids to go that's not at home and it's not at school. They need that place outside there, and again, I think it fills a huge need. So I'm excited to work on that in my first year here in the mayor's office. So like I said, it was a very busy week, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up there because I think I gave you a lot of good information. I will let you know that we have another snow/ice storm coming our way this Friday. This kind of just popped up on the weather, and it kind of shifted gears, and now it looks like we are going to get maybe a couple inches of snow and some freezing rain, which is never good. So again, I'm going to try to do my best to keep the communications coming from the mayor's office. We're going to coordinate that with our DPS, our fire, and our police as this approaches. And again, just keep checking our website, check our social media pages. We're going to keep pumping that information out to you. And if you ever have any questions, just contact the mayor's office. That's it. That's episode 3 of the Mayor's Corner, and I can't wait to talk to you next week.